Ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite Zionist prince, Tall the Traveling Clack, coming to you live right now. The Greta saga seems to finally be over. This will be my last update, I promise, on Greta Thunberg, but we gotta cover it because the finishing touches are just creme de la creme. This is coming from Jewish Breaking News on Instagram. Final footage of Greta Thunberg being deported.
Quelle tête de cul, espèce de...
The caption says Greta Thunberg deported back to Sweden.
Quelle tête de cul, espèce de...
Sent home on a complimentary El Al flight. If you can see, the comedy of Israel's genius is not bypassed by us. She was put by the bathrooms in the last row with a non-reclining seat. Very good move. Climate celebrity and self-described hostage, Greta Thunberg has been deported after her failed Freedom Flotilla stunt to Gaza. Israeli forces intercepted the boat before it could reach Hamas-controlled territory. Thunberg was placed on an El Al flight back to Sweden via France. Critics mocked the irony of the stunt's carbon footprint, with eyewitnesses claiming Greta was seated near the rear lavatories. The boat, carrying less than one truckload of aid, lied at less than $600, is being transferred through proper humanitarian channels. Literally all of this for $600 of aid. My God. Back in Sweden, the response to Thunberg's action has been sharply divided. Many Swedes expressed anger and embarrassment, saying her headline grabbing stunt only fueled controversy and failed to help some situation in Gaza. Some accused Thunberg of prioritizing media attention over real humanitarian aid, while others voiced concern that her latest antics damaged Sweden's international reputation. To all my Swedes in the comments that have been coming out, I don't judge all of you, but I will say it definitely affects the reputation of your country. Like, she is kind of the most well-known Swede at the moment. You know, everybody associates her with Sweden. If you guys want to do some damage control, you need to disassociate from this person. Your country needs to openly disavow Greta Thunberg as a Swede. I'm not joking. Like, if you want this to not hark on your reputation of Sweden, it should be known that she does not represent Sweden, and I don't think at the moment it's very well known. So just as a little heads up to the Swedes, because I've seen a lot of Swedes coming into the comments, which is interesting because I've never had Swedish followers or viewers before. Also, by the way, guys, if you do appreciate what I do here and you like my channel, please do consider subscribing right now because we're on our long journey to get to 500,000 subscribers. We're actually inching pretty close there, so I'd really appreciate you guys helping me get there. If you believe in what I do, please take a moment to subscribe now. Here's our post-fight interview.
Giving out sandwiches on their social media. How did they?
Let's see what she says. Let's see what bullshit she
How
says.
did
Yeah, they probably have posted lots of PR stunt videos. As I said, I have not seen anything. But they did an illegal act by kidnapping us on international waters and against our will, bringing us to Israel, keeping us at the bottom of the boat, not letting us getting out and so on.
Giving out sandwiches on their social media. How did
Yeah, they probably have posted
Okay,
lots
so
of
they
PR
illegally
stunt
kidnapped
videos.
her in international
As I said, I
waters
have not.
as she approached the controlled coastal waters of Israel. Somehow it's international waters. Okay, that's a good, okay. Yeah, anyways, here's from Kosher Cockney on Twitter. Oof, Greta got caught in the grift. Listen to what she says to tell Sky, and then she watched the video what she actually went down. Take a listen. On international waters, we were attacked and kidnapped, and stated she hadn't had a phone for a few days, so she doesn't know what's going on. Oh, so, 1, I wonder why you don't have a phone. 2, it's Israeli waters, there's no attack or kidnapping. 3, following the fact that your phone is now in the Mediterranean somewhere, you obviously haven't seen the video released of you allegedly throwing all electrical equipment overboard while all seemingly staggering scenarios you can't remember. The thing is, you guys have to understand something. It doesn't matter to sort of the left liberal side of the aisle who supports this shit. She's gonna lie all day, and everyone's gonna be like, "This is excellent." It doesn't matter. The lies are good. They embolden them to continue going. So just they are caught in the grift. The grift is real. Let's watch.
On international waters, we were illegally. On international waters, we were illegally attacked and kidnapped by Israel and taken against our will to Israel, where we were detained, and then some of us deported. Some are still there. There are very big uncertainties because it was quite chaotic and uncertain. So I don't really know what's going on. I haven't had a phone for many days, and
What were the conditions for you over the last few hours?
She says here at a couple minutes in, at 29 seconds in, she hadn't had a phone in a few days. Let's take a look at this clip real quick.
Mobilisez-vous! Mobilisez-vous! Go to places! Ditch the phones! Ditch the phones!
Ah, ditch the phones, they say.
Ditch the phones! Yes. Phones in the water, please!
Here you can see a bunch of white Europeans tossing lithium battery devices like laptops and phones into the Mediterranean Sea on the coast of the Middle East. On the coast of the indigenous land of the Middle Eastern people, such as myself, they came and they littered and they contaminated and polluted the environment. These climate activists that apparently stand for human rights and for humanity came and polluted the Middle East. From a bunch of white people came in and just destroyed the environment of a bunch of brown people. Interesting how that works. Also, can we hark on the fact for a second that she just abandoned her friends on this flotilla? That there's a bunch of people that are still being held by Israel, and she just fucking signed the waiver and was like, let me get the fuck out of here. I'm good. I did my part. Does anybody else with this whole Greta thing feel a little bit sketchy? I know other like social media people in the sort of conservative space are talking about that this really feels like it's been a grooming attempt by this girl. I'm almost starting to believe that she didn't even want to be a part of this, and it's kind of being forced upon her. And we do know that she actually is autistic, so it may be very easy to influence her. I don't know where her parents are involved. I mean, she's an adult, but she's still a young woman, and she's only 22. I think she's being influenced by the wrong forces. This genuinely seems like she does not want to be a part of this. She wasn't willing to go down with the ship. She abandoned ship and abandoned her, quote-unquote, her Free Palestine buddies, her friends. We've got another 14-minute interview here. Let's open this up and take a look.
Very familiar story.
We're just going to take a break from Deborah explaining all about her exciting new podcast to these images of Greta Thunberg, who is arriving in Paris. Looks like she's going to speak to the media. Let's have a listen.
Greta, would you tell us how Natasha Butler from Al Jazeera, tell us what it was like on the boat? And how was it the last few hours?
We were on international waters. We were illegally attacked and kidnapped by Israel and taken against our will to Israel, where we were detained, and then some of us deported. Some are still there. Had a phone for many days, and
what were the conditions for you over the last few hours?
They were absolutely nothing compared to what people are going through in Palestine, especially Gaza right now. And this is yet another international a violation of international, countless of such, especially towards Palestinians, that Israel are committing by blocking and preventing humanitarian aid from entering Gaza. That is illegal.
How did the Israelis treat you? We saw them giving out sandwiches on their social media. How did
Yeah, they probably have posted lots of PR stunt videos. As I said, I have not seen anything, but they did an illegal act by kidnapping us on international waters, and again...
Bitch, you were scarfing down a fucking challah sandwich. What are you on about, you fucking cunt? What the fuck are you talking about? An illegal action. You invaded a country and got fed a sandwich, and Sarit sent you off to Ashdod, and then you flew back first class by the bathroom with Elal. What are you talking about? You kidnapped illegally, you fucking cunt. What are you on about? This person really irks me. This is a really if you want white privilege, here, this is white privilege right here. If that's what you're looking for, you got it right here.
Against our will, bringing us to Israel, keeping us in the bottom of the boat, not letting us getting out, and so on. But that is not the real story here. The real story is that there is a genocide going on in Gaza and a systematic starvation following the siege and blockade now, which is leading to food, medicine, water that are desperately needed to get into Gaza is prevented from doing so. But of course there are many attempts like this mission, both by sea and land, to break that siege and open up a humanitarian corridor.
Could I ask you, did you said you had no contact at all with any of your other colleagues from the boat when you were detained? Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I said. I was just mainly speaking. I don't really know what's going on because...
You don't know what's going on with the others?
Are you worried about the
I wasn't
others?
able to say goodbye.
Are you worried about the others, that they might be detained for any length of time?
Yeah, I'm very worried about them. We heard many different messages pointing towards that they would not make it easy. And there were troubles with being able to see lawyers. So I'm very much calling for their immediate release and calling for everyone who can't mobilize
I see this happening in the future. I feel Greta is going to go down a really, really dark rabbit hole after this. And I think this is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I think she's going to become more of an extremist, probably into her like late 30s. And I think somewhere around 40 years old, she's either one, going to convert to Judaism and come and live in Israel, or two, she's gonna just, maybe she'll become a devout Christian too, that's also a possibility. She'll end up regretting Greta Thunberg. She'll end up regretting everything that she did. All the bullshit climate activism that she specifically does. I'm not anti-climate activism, just specifically the way that she does it. The hypocrisy. She'll abandon ship, come visit Israel. She'll end up falling in love with Israel and the Jewish people and become an advocate for the Jewish people, probably in like her late 40s, 50s. I'm calling it now. Let's play this back when I'm 60 years old, and we'll see if Tal was correct. Hopefully I was, because that'll be a pretty good ending, silver lining to this story, and I'll take back calling you a cunt, you piece of garbage. All right, we do have a couple more clips here. This is from the Israeli Foreign Ministry, the Israeli government spokesperson right now.
I'm David Mansah, spokesman for the National Public Diplomacy Directorate in the Prime Minister's office. It's Monday, June 9th, day 612 since the October 7th atrocities. Please put your questions in the chat. I've just got a quick update for you. Please remember to put your name and your news outlet, and after a few points, I will take your questions. Firstly, it is my sad and unenviable duty to inform you of the tragic fallen amongst Israel's armed forces. The number of fallen soldiers in this war has unfortunately risen to 866. Master Sergeant in the reserves, Alon Farkas, was 27 years old and from Kabri in Israel's north. He fell in battle in northern Gaza. Sergeant Major in the reserves, Chen Gross, was from Gan Yoshia. He was 33 years old. He fell in battle in southern Gaza. Staff Sergeant Yoav Ravel was aged just 19 years old and was from Sde Valborg. He fell in battle in southern Gaza. Sergeant First Class Tom Rothstein was aged 23 and from Ramat Gan. He too fell in battle in southern Gaza. And Staff Sergeant Uri Yonatan Cohen was just 20 years old. He was from Neve Yarak, and he too fell in battle in southern Gaza. The Prime Minister described this tragic news of these fallen soldiers as extremely sad and terribly difficult. On behalf of all citizens of Israel, the Prime Minister sent heartfelt condolences to the families of our heroic fighters who fell in Gaza in the campaign to defeat Hamas and return all of our hostages. All of these 5 warriors gave their lives for the safety of this entire country. All of these 5 warriors gave their lives for the safety of this entire country. And so the entire people of Israel embraced their dear families in their heavy mourning. May the memory of our heroes be blessed and cherished in the hearts of the nation. Next, on the selfie yacht. As you will no doubt have seen, last night Israel took control of the selfie yacht. It went smoothly, thankfully, 0 casualties. They were towed to Israel's Ashdod port. We made sure they had plenty to eat and drink. And of course, they'll be returned home to their countries as soon as possible. On the subject of aid in particular, the selfie yacht had a really meagre cargo, much less than even a truck's worth of aid. But of course, it will be sent into Gaza. For some context, as a comparison, in the last 2 weeks alone, Israel has facilitated more than 1,200 trucks, 1,200 trucks laden with aid to enter Gaza. The very latest figures from Gaza, from the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, are that close to 11 million meals, that is 11 million meals, have been delivered directly to Gazans, getting it out of the hands of Hamas. And to those that really do wish to get real aid to Gaza, there are, of course, proper channels. There are organized channels. And to poor Greta, we say, who's really funding Gaza? Who's really feeding Gaza? And who's really feeding their own ego? Next, let me give you an update on Israel's counter-terror mission in Gaza.
All right, so that's Israel's official stance. We've got the unhinged Michael Rappaport. Let's see what Mr. Michael Rappaport is on about when it comes to the Freedom Flotilla.
How dare you? How dare you? Greta Thunberg, you little fucking gremlin, you gremlin fuck. You have the audacity to say you were kidnapped, you little fucking self-serving ghoul, snot-nose fuck. You said you were kidnapped, you were detained, fed, and hopefully for everyone's sake, you were forced to wash your dirty little grimy little fucking hands and sent back home within 36 hours. Kidnapped, you little mutt-faced ghoul. Kidnapped? How dare you? 55 hostages who were kidnapped by terrorists who would toss your little ass off a building remain in Gaza today. 614 days. 2 of them are American. That's a fact. They are kidnapped, and they were kidnapped, and it was broadcasted for the world to see proudly on October 7th, 2023. 55 hostages remain in captivity, you little rotten, spoiled, feckless fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, to be honest with you. That was a pretty perfect execution of what needs to be said to Greta Thunberg. Like, there's nothing else to say other than fuck you, you're a piece of shit. Like, you are a piece of garbage. You're a bad human being. You're a hypocrite. You're a liar. You're a cheat. You're a scammer. And no, at least for a brief moment in time, and I'm sure the world will turn on Israel again, I definitely saw the tides in the PR war turn a little bit in Israel's favor during this whole ordeal. So thank you, Greta, for at least lightening the load on my back for a little bit. Now we've got, I would say, the final clip in the series where Mrs. Shahid, the Shahid herself, Greta, has reached Stockholm, where she was welcomed by all other terror-supporting white saviors. Let's check out the clip. This is creepy, man. This does not look good. This looks creepy. Isn't this creepy? Is anybody else uncomfortable by this? Nobody else thinks this is a little off? Is this not creepy? Does this not look like a cult? By the way, lots of plastic surrounding your flowers, you fucking bitch. Fucking eco-terrorist bitch. That's what you are. You're a fucking eco-terrorist, Greta Thunberg. A lot of plastic there. Don't forget, this woman is getting flowers after dumping lithium-ion batteries and computers into the Mediterranean Sea in Palestine. What a fucking bitch. That's the end of our... I don't want to cover this anymore. I don't think, unless something significant happens, I'm done with fucking Thunberg. I'm over it. I appreciate you guys watching. I know you guys enjoyed the series. We brought in nearly 1 million views across all the episodes on Greta so far. So hopefully we don't have to cover any more of this, but I appreciate you guys watching this beautiful tragedy unfold in front of our eyes. Please do subscribe to the channel right now if you believe in me and my message, because I want to try to get to 500,000 subscribers to embolden everybody to know that we are a channel that's not going anywhere. We're here. We're sticking to the truth. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you long time. Goodbye, Clats. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.